jam.
Welcome back to Geek Therapy Radio. I'm still your mental curator, Johnny Hemberger. For whatever time of the day you're listening to Geek Therapy Radio, whether it's at night, whether it's in the middle of the afternoon or the morning, or you're taking me in the shower with you. As I mentioned last week, it's a good place to listen to me. Put your phone on your toilet, or get yourself a Bluetooth speaker or a shower speaker. Take me in the shower with you. Don't forget behind your ears. This segment is going to be unofficially about technology that is both awesome and stupid. Or let's be more specific, about products that are both awesome and stupid at the same time. And I'm going to start it off with the new Aston Martin DB11. Is it the Volante? Yep, the new Aston Martin DB11 Volante. They've made it a convertible. It's a convertible. And here's the thing about it. It cost $350,000. $350,000 for an Aston Martin. And I know, just bear with me, I know that doesn't sound so ridiculous because it's not uncommon for a supercar to cost $350,000. But here's why I argue that the Aston Martin, while it is simply one of the most beautiful vehicles ever, Astons are awesome. James Bond drives Astons. Astons are wonderful cars. The old DB7s and DB5, oh my gosh. The vintage ones, pardon my French, but they are sex on four wheels. They are very sexy cars. They look amazing. Those old DB7s, woo! They are amazing. Okay, so the DB11 V12 goes 200 miles an hour. It looks really good. But here's why I struggle with that $350,000 mark. And it's not because in 5 years it's going to be $100,000. It's going to lose $250,000 or more. It's definitely going to lose $300,000 over the next 10 years, I would say. It's not the depreciation. It's not the fact that you'll never buy this car as an investment. Ever. It is not going to appreciate. It's not going to make you any money. But the type of person buying this car doesn't care about that anyways. So that's not even my argument. My argument with this is it doesn't look like it costs $350,000. When you buy a $350,000 Lamborghini or Ferrari or McLaren, it looks outlandish. It looks like it costs $350,000. The Aston Martin, while beautiful and while it is the James Bond car, looks like a freaking Ford Fusion. It looks like a sexy Ford Fusion. That's it. But the bottom line is, there are design elements that Ford uses because Ford owns Aston Martin. Remember that. There's design elements that Ford uses in the Aston Martin that it also uses in the Ford Fusion and arguably the Mustang as well. So when I'm buying a $350,000 car, I don't want it to look like a $25,000 car at all. If I'm dropping $350K, it better look like a freaking rocket ship. And the Aston Martin, while sexy, does not look like a $350,000 car. I'm not the one to want to drive and gloat about the fact that I was able to buy a $350,000 car, which I am not, and I will likely never be. I hope I have that problem of not being a hypocrite. I hope I have the problem of avoiding being a hypocrite, having the money to buy a $350,000 car. But all I'm saying, that's all I'm saying is if I was one to buy a $350,000 car, it better look like $350,000. It better not look like a $25,000 Ford. And that's the problem I have with the Aston Martin DB11. It's gorgeous. It is absolutely stunning. But it just looks like a really sexy Ford Fusion. Is that worth $350K? Not to me. So, That's an example of something that is both awesome and stupid. A product that is awesome, but also stupid, in my opinion. Let me know what you think. Go to Geek Therapy Radio on Facebook and tell me what you think about the Aston Martin DB11. Or if you're watching on YouTube, comment below. What do you think about the Aston Martin DB11? Do you think it looks like it's worth $350K? I would argue that it does not. But that's just my opinion. And we're all about opinions here in Geek Therapy Radio. So if you're a car geek, tell me what your opinion of the Aston Martin DB11 is. Is it worth? Does it look like it's worth $350,000? I argue that it does not. The next product that is both awesome and stupid is the new Microsoft Surface Book 2. Several episodes ago, I ripped on the Microsoft Surface line of products. I've got a Microsoft Surface 2 in my backpack over there. Let me get it real quick. I'm going to yell so you can still hear me in the microphone. I've got a Microsoft Surface 2 that I like. The reason why I like it is because I got it cheap. You know, it's a good little tablet Windows 10 PC. It's got 8 gigabytes of RAM. It's got a 256 gigabyte M.2 SSD in there. It's a good, solid product. I got it really cheap a few years ago because I got it refurbished or used or something like that. But here's why I don't like the current offerings of Surfaces. They are awesome. They look great. They are solid devices. The top tier Surface Book 2 comes with an NVIDIA GTX 1060. That's the full 6 gigabyte version, which I have in my laptop back here. My MSI GS43 VR. Awesome laptop. The GTX 1060 in a laptop is amazing. The Surface Book 2 also comes with a quad-core i7. Just like my laptop back here, just like my GS43 VR, has the same specs. Let's just say it's comparable. The specs, the hardware is the same between my GS43 VR and the Surface Book 2. Both GTX 1060s, both quad-core i7s. Mine's a 6700 HQ. I think the new one is a 7700 HQ. Maybe 3% of a performance difference from the 6700 HQ to the 7700 HQ. Here's the difference, though. That GS43 VR I got for, I'll just say it, $1,200. Worth every penny at $1,200. I thought that was a very fair price for how beast mode that is and how much I use that laptop every single day. All of these YouTube videos that you see, all of these geek therapies, I mix in Cakewalk Sonar, and I edit in Sony Vegas 13 on that laptop. All of it. I do all my work on that laptop. So $1,200 is great. It's worth it to me. I do all my gaming on there as well. GTX 1060, why not? It's great for gaming. $1,200, that laptop. The Microsoft Surface Book 2, which has the same specs as that laptop, over $3,000. That is way more than twice. That's almost 3 times as much as that laptop costs behind me for the same hardware, the same performance. And I wouldn't even say the same performance. Surface Books are known for overheating. When you get that small and thin and sexy with a laptop, heat buildup is an issue. That laptop keeps the processor throttled when you're really gaming, when you're really going hard at like 3.1 gigahertz, which is fine. It's acceptable. I think max turbo boost is like 3.4 gigahertz on a single thread. So running at 3.1 gigahertz is nice and stable and no problem. There's no way you're going to be throttling you can't type a Word document on that Surface Book 2 without thermal throttling, I bet. It's probably not going to be that bad, but it's kind of ridiculous. Though those specs, GTX 1060 and Core i7, not worth $3,000. No way, Jose. And we'll be right back with more Geek Therapy Radio. That's all I wanted to say. This segment was those products that are both awesome and stupid at the same time. Let me know in the comments below, wherever you're listening, on Cakebook or whatever. Cakebook. Facebook or wherever you're listening. What do you think about that? What do you think about the Surface Pro or the Surface Book 2? Do you think it's worth $3,000? I don't think so. We'll be right back. More Geek Therapy Radio. I'm Johnny Hamburger, your mental curator. Stick around just a few minutes. Unless you're listening to the podcast or watching on YouTube, it's going to be instant. We'll be right back with more Geek Therapy Radio.